Get some effort from Chris Paul right here on this turnover. It's a turnover. Could you sprint back, please? Look, stop. Okay, turnover. Done. Get back. Look at Chris Paul. Excuse me? Well, you should be in the gaps right here. Nope. No. You're Andrew Wiggins. Again, my back is to the baseline as Anthony Edwards lifts across the perimeter here. When Naz Reid comes this way, I can stunt. This dribble has to get picked up. Recover. Stop. Andrew, back under here. Stunt, recover. How are you missing that? My goodness. Cannot play this far off Karl Anthony Towns if you're Kevon Looney. I have help right here. I'll have help right here. But look at Kevon Looney. Why are you backpedaling? Up! Let Brandon Podziemski help you. You just... Bad defense from Jonathan Kuminga. Stop. Trace Jackson-Davis is up here waiting to help you. Okay? So get off Naz Reid and there's no place to go. We got to force him to the middle of the floor. If he spins off you, there's no help. There's nothing but traffic this way. Why are you overplaying him to that side? Terrible switch by the Warriors. Trace Jackson-Davis has got to get up, and Gary Payton II's got to get underneath, so you're in this gap right here. And by the way, Corey Joseph over in the gaps as well. But, I mean, look at Trace Jackson-Davis. You got to get up and guard. And Gary Payton II under immediately. Fun game. Let's count all the mistakes. Gary Payton II goes up the gut of a down screen instead of chasing over the top. So that's why you're off balance right here, and Anthony Edwards has you beat. Okay? So, I mean, look at this. So now Anthony Edwards is going to fly off of a handoff right here. You have no chance. You're still going this way. You're trying to recover. So this, of course, has to be a switch. Trace Jackson-Davis has got to get up. Gary Payton II, you're switching. Okay? The Warriors don't do that either. Steve Kerr's trash. Okay, the Warriors are poorly coached, so this ball gets thrown down here. Karl Anthony Towns. Moses Moody and Trace Jackson-Davis have to drop. You got halfway. I'm seeing ball, I'm seeing man, and we're dropping halfway between the ball and the three-point line. And Kuminga's got to force Karl Anthony Towns to the middle of the floor. None of that happens. None. Steve Kerr's terrible. If you're Trace Jackson-Davis down low, this is not going to get it done. I've got to drive. I got to use the lower half of my body to drive and move Gobert out of the paint. You're boxing him out with one arm. He's moving you. It's the easiest offensive rebound ever. One more chance for Minnesota, Kyle Anderson. If Golden State wants to trap here, then Moses Moody's got to get over here. You're not worried about Shake Milton 2 passes away. Stop. You're worried about Rudy Gobert. This pass can't get made, okay? That's the only way this trap's going to be effective. You don't rotate in time. So it's easy to pass out of the trap, and now the Timberwolves have numbers. Again, just not fair to the players. Steve Kerr is such garbage. You got to switch this. You got to get underneath. You got to battle. Kevon Looney's over here taking Mike Conley. I'll be in the gaps right here. Dario Saric is down here to help you on the strong side of the floor as well. But you're giving up 2-on-1s. So now Kevon Looney's got to go from guarding the ball to rotating over to Karl Anthony Towns with a full head of steam downhill. Not going to happen. Steve Kerr's a terrible basketball coach. Not fight over the top of handoffs early. If Anthony Edwards gets this, you're either going to go under the handoff or you're going to switch right here. Okay, but you're trying to go over this handoff early. Okay, so that's why Anthony Edwards is going to say, never mind, I'll just beat you backdoor. So now you're out of position. When Anthony Edwards catches this, we really need you to be able to come over here. Kevon Looney's got to drop. He doesn't. Warriors are poorly coached. But Anthony Edwards is going to force him right here. This is where your help comes from. The double coming in the paint is not going to do anything. It's got to come outside the paint. But Podziemski lets him spin into the paint too. Okay, the Warriors clearly have no idea what they're doing when they trap because Brandon Podziemski's got to get over here. We're not worried about 2 passes away. There's no point in trapping when it's this easy to pass out of it. Okay, so that doesn't happen. So Chris Paul's going to be late to rotate up because of that horrible initial rotation off the trap. Dario Saric, so he's going to get beat off the dribble. Dario Saric steps up and help, okay? Kevon Looney's going to come over here and help the helper. Podziemski needs to stay home. We don't need 40 Warriors players guarding the ball. Box out is not going to get it done. You're Brandon Podziemski trying to box out Karl Towns. You have no chance of boxing him out straight up. I got to use the lower half of my body to move him. You're trying to box him out by just standing straight up. He's going to move you. It's easy offensive rebound, kick out. Someone's open for 3, Anthony Edwards. You have to switch. Saric has got to get up. Podziemski underneath, you're going to battle. Kevon Looney needs to get up the line and in the gaps. So I have help right here with Kevon Looney if he's in the gaps. Look at what your defense is. You're giving up 2-on-1s. I feel, Steve Kerr is just atrocious. They're going to isolate Karl Towns right here on Kevon Looney. First of all, Chris Paul can't turn his back to the ball. As Nickeil Alexander-Walker cuts through, your back's got to stay this way. So I'm seeing ball and man, but it doesn't matter. You got to bring help. Podziemski's got to get over here and help, okay? And then you're just going to rotate, okay? You're going to rotate, you're going to rotate, you're going to rotate. Doubling at the rim is worthless. It's too late at that point. So Gary Payton II, you don't guard beyond half court, get back and get in the gaps. But what is Trace Jackson-Davis doing? You're obviously guarding Karl Towns here. Where's Trace Jackson-Davis going? What? And why is Gary Payton II not back? Poorly coached team. Very, very, very poorly coached team. This is where your help comes from, Gary Payton II. I got to be over. Gary Payton II's hugging the three-point line for no reason. If my feet are set, I can stunt, I can recover. The help does not come from Trace Jackson-Davis. And if it did, his feet would need to be set. But look he's moving towards the ball as the pass is getting kicked out. Open corner three. Steve Kerr's terrible. Why does Moses Moody need to gamble here? Stop. Okay, you're not getting this ball. Just slide your feet. There's 5 seconds on the shot clock. What is Moses? You're coming up to do what? So now Kyle Anderson's going to collect this and just turn the corner on you. I don't know why Brandon Podziemski is just going to give Shake Milton this angle right here. If that's what's going to happen, by the way, Corey Joseph's got to get over here. Left foot parallel to the block in the gaps. But why can't we just force him right here where there's help right there? So, okay, fine. Let's see what Corey Joseph does. Oh, turns his back to the sideline, isn't even seeing the ball, and isn't in the gaps. So, bucket +1. Well-coached team. Why is Brandon Podziemski dribbling into 3 different Timberwolves players? Well, I'll tell you one reason why, because Chris Paul's not even seeing the ball. His man, Mike Conley, just went to help. So I'm cutting here. This is a layup. Or I'm drawing help, open corner 3. But Chris Paul's standing out there, Brandon Podziemski dribbling into 100 Timberwolves defenders, and Mike Conley's going to pull up for 3. Up if you're Kevon Looney. Stop. Now, Chris Paul needs to move over here. Left foot parallel to the block. So Kevon Looney can just stay up because he's got help right here. I can stunt. I can recover. But Kevon Looney's going to bite on this little jab step right here because Chris Paul's not over. Open 3. Terrible switch by the Warriors. Corey Joseph needs to get up immediately, and Gary Payton II needs to get over here in the gaps. Instead, Corey Joseph switches the screen over the top. That forces Kevon Looney to have to help, and Karl Anthony Towns is wide open. Poorly coached team. Andrew Wiggins, you cannot be feeling out a screen. If a screen gets set, you're just going to switch it, okay? But look at Andrew Wiggins. Look at him, his hands. Look at him backing up, feeling out a screen right there. Well, now you're off balance, and Anthony Edwards is going to be able to cross you up for an open 3. So the Warriors switch right here, but if you're Kevon Looney, you want to force Towns here. Podziemski's over here in the gaps. He needs to get underneath the three-point line, but he's in the gaps. So this is where we want to force Towns. There's no help this way because Kuminga has got a battle with Rudy Gobert. Well, okay, it is clear that Rudy Gobert is going to have to step up and help on Chris Paul here. So if you're Kevon Looney, you got to dive hard into this charge circle right here. That's where the pass needs to go. I got hard right here. It's a drop-off pass for 2. Instead, you're not there. So now they got to swing this ball out. It's stolen. Anthony Edwards is gone. So again, I don't understand why Andrew Wiggins doesn't just force Anthony Edwards into help right here. I mean, Kevon Looney's standing here. But anyway, so you're going to let him go this way. So Chris Paul's got to leave Kyle Anderson, step up and double. So that means Podziemski's got to rotate down and take Kyle Anderson. That means now. And you got to box out. No rotation. Easy offensive rebound. Timberwolves get another chance. Swing. Towns, 3. The Warriors are sending 1,000 bodies at Anthony Edwards right here, okay? So Chris Paul's going to stay home. Andrew Wiggins can't stand and watch because if this ball gets swung here, you're going to have to rotate here, and this is where Podziemski's got to come. But again, Andrew Wiggins everyone's looking at Anthony Edwards, and Conley's open for 3.